back today. We are just getting ready to get everybody in here. So it looks like it's just taking a moment to get going. Hello, everybody. So not sure if this is working or not. And we will, hopefully this is working. So let's go ahead and get everybody in here. Facebook group is not connecting, but we are. I don't know why Facebook is doing its thing. It's just being wonky. Come on, Facebook. Let's connect. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. We're going to get going. Hello, hello, everybody. Hi, Daniela. Hi, Kristen and Sonia and GAT and Simona. Ooh, I'm so excited. I get to have conversations with at least four of you here today. Welcome. Welcome back to day three. So, for those of you that are watching on Substack, I would love to know, like, pop in the chat here, even though I can't see your comments right now. I promise I will circle back around and make sure to answer any of your questions. And let me just go ahead and spotlight this. There we go. So, you guys, this is actually one of my favorite days. Today and tomorrow are one of my absolute favorite days because we get into the juicy stuff. Hi, Simona. Oh, yes, you guys, thank you. Leave a comment here, especially if you're here live, because that is the way that we can enter you in to win a free spot inside of our six-figure foundations program. And we'll also make sure that you get the freebie. So you all should have gotten a personal message from my assistant, Jenny, giving you access to the freebie from day one. And it's all about our daily alignment practice. They are going to be sending out the freebie from yesterday, which is all about creating your Grand Slam Soulful Offer Suite. Hi, Cynthia. And then today we are actually going to be helping you create your marketing plan. So really, really excited about that for you. So we are going to help you with this. So day one, we already talked about, day one, that was about energy, that was about alignment. We know that energy trumps strategy, who we are being in the world as a leader, building and growing our businesses, and also the holistic practitioners that we are being is super, super important. So if you missed day one, you can go back and check that. So good, because in order for us to create a six-figure business, we actually have to decide that we are committing and that we are a six-figure business owner first before we can even see it in the bank account, right? We have to believe it's possible, and we actually have to be enrolled in ourselves and take on that identity. That is actually one of the biggest places that people kind of get stuck, is when they are trying to build and grow a business, especially when they're trying to get it off the starting line, is that they don't really believe that it's possible yet because they're looking for evidence, right? They're like, well, once I get my first 5 clients, well, once I hit the first 10K month, then it's possible. And really, that's not the way that things are created. We have to believe first, and then we have to commit, right? And not just be curious, not like, I don't know, maybe I'll kind of try to build a business. That doesn't work, you guys. Like, you can't maybe kind of try to build a business. You actually have to commit and say, yep, I'm going all in and I'm doing it and I'm deciding. Or you get to say, nope, I'm out. Ain't gonna, not for me. But whatever you do, you can't sit on the fence and maybe kind of try. It just doesn't work that way. So we're going to be diving into day three today. So day one was about alignment, making that commitment, deciding that you're already an empowered six-figure business coach. Yesterday, we talked about designing your offer suite. We also talked about the power of your signature system and how critical it is to actually create your authority, to 10x your visibility, your authority, your credibility, and how much easier it is to do that when you have a signature system that you're known for. Today, we're talking about the trifecta, which is the attract, nurture, and invite. Now we're getting into systems, right? So we got mindset dialed in on day one. On day two, we talked about some of the foundations that we have to get dialed in before we can actually take on paying clients, right? We have to have an offer. We have to have a signature system that they can believe in and trust in. And now we need to talk about the core four things that we need to focus on that are actually the revenue generators. And if we're missing any of these pieces, chances are you're not having the results that you want to have in your business. Either clients are not coming into your business consistently, or you're not getting any clients, or you're just wondering, like, what the heck, why is this so hard? Right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And let's see, here we go. So it's really important that we talk first about the client pathway. So this is not in your workbook, by the way. I'm just using a different visual here, but we will be diving into the workbook that you have in your email. This is the way that clients move from strangers to, so spelling error here for all of you see it, it's written by a real person, me, from strangers to buyers. And the truth is that there are three things that we have to focus on. Your person who does not know yet anything about you is at the stranger stage, right? They might not know you exist, but they are your ready-yes client. And when I say ready-yes client, that's not just anybody. That is actually somebody who's looking for a solution to their problem, but they haven't found you yet. Okay. So when we start talking about attracting the right type of client, when we start talking about attracting our ready yes client, I want you to understand who that actually is. It's not just who we talked about as our ideal client, right? It's not, for example, a woman who's burned out, who's trying to regulate their emotions and their nervous system so that they can make more money. That is a description of our ideal client. Your ready yes client actually needs to check some different parameters. Your ready yes client is somebody who is actually looking for a solution to their problem that you can solve. So I loved, and you guys are, I'm sure those of you who are working with me right now inside of Activate Abundance Academy and Six Figure Foundations have heard me talk about this already, but there are 30% of the people that are in your world. They might even be following you or commenting or downloading your freebie, but they don't believe that they actually have a problem, or they don't believe that it is a big enough problem to actually get solved. Okay. I call these people the sidewalkers because they are people that there's no way that they can actually be a ready yes client for you because they're not willing to do anything about the problem because they don't believe that they have a big enough problem that needs to be solved. Okay. 30% of people are in your world. And what I see over and over and over and over again is that there is so much content and messaging trying to convince or persuade these people that they should want to do something about their problem. And that is not ever going to work because if they personally don't believe that they have a problem and they're not willing to do something about it, they can't invest to work with you. Now, the second phase that we see is 67%. These are the people that are your ready yes buyers. These are the 67% of the people in your world who are actively looking for a solution. They just haven't found you yet, and they're willing to do something about it. Okay. They have to meet those two parameters. If they're not willing to change or do something about it, they can't be your ideal client. They also have to be willing and capable of making the investment as well. So that's 67% of the people. Those are the people that we want to get their attention. Those are the people that we actually want to attract into what we call as our ecosystem. Okay. And then what's left over? We got 3% left over. Those are people that are already in your warm market. They already know you. They already love you. They already trust you. And they're like, yep, I'm ready to go. Okay. So at any given day, you've got about 3% of the people that are ready to go. So that's not enough to actually create a six-figure business. We want to actually make sure that we are attracting people that are in that 67% into our ecosystem. And the way that we do that is multiple ways. We're going to share about how we do that today. Sometimes it might look like doing a Facebook Live. Maybe it looks like sharing some content. Sometimes it might look like doing an in-person event. Sometimes it looks like sharing a freebie, giving value, right? There's lots of different ways that we can actually attract and get in front of our ideal client. Lots and lots of different ways. And so inside my best-selling book, The Soulful Abundance System, and I teach the entire Soulful Abundance System inside of Activate Abundance Academy, we actually help you decide what feels good for you to attract your ideal client and how you can do that in a way that makes sense for you. So we customize that for you. Now, once they're in our ecosystem, right, once they've downloaded the freebie, once they've raised their hand, once they've commented on the post and we can actually see them, now they become a viewer. And this is where you actually get a chance to deliver even more value to somebody. They now know that you are in their world and they are in your world. And this is the start of building trust and safety with a potential client. So think about offering somebody a freebie that they can download, then they come onto your email list, maybe then come into your hub, your Facebook group, or your Substack channel, or a place where they can see you and experience you first before they actually make a purchase. So here's what I want to share about this. This is really, really important because if we are not acknowledging the people that are raising their hand and we're not serving them and giving them value, then they are not actually going to have an opportunity to have an experience with us. Okay. So client attraction is getting in front of the right people, but also giving them value so that they can step into our ecosystem. And that's client attraction. But then we actually have to nurture. So once your person is in your ecosystem, and this is what many, many businesses and coaches are not doing, and it's why your income is not only not consistent, but you're probably not, generating enough revenue, is that they tend to just let them be. Like they ghost them on their email list. They don't ever invite them to have another type of experience. Okay. So maybe they downloaded your freebie, but they're actually not getting a direct reach out from you, or they're not getting invited to your Facebook group, or they're not getting invited to a workshop, or they're not being nurtured. And nurture is actually a combination of a one to many. So, for example, right now, what I'm doing today is actually doing a nurture event. I'm teaching something of value in a one to many capacity. When I go live on my Facebook group, that's one to many. When I send an email out to my email list, that's one to many. When I write a Substack article, that's one to many. So that's nurturing the people that have already raised their hand and said, heck yeah, I'm interested in you. I want to learn more. I'm not ready to buy yet, but I just kind of want to see who you are. I want to know if I resonate with you. They're basically vetting you. And so, if you do not have a way to give them an experience so that they have time to spend with you, they cannot move into being a buyer. Strangers do not become buyers overnight. There is a pathway that they go on, and this is the pathway. They go from stranger to viewer, some viewer into a potential lead who wants to have an experience. From there, they go into maybe a one-on-one conversation, whether it's in a DM or whether it's in, a personal voice message, or whether it's a personal email, but the connection piece happens in one-to-one. And finally, they get invited to explore having your support. Okay. So it looks like this: attract, nurture, invite. I want you to think of these as like three legs of a stool. And these are your revenue generating activities that must be done on a daily basis, not every once in a while, but on a daily basis in order for you to enroll clients consistently and predictably. And here's why. If you attract the right client and nurture them, but you never invite them, they can't say yes. They haven't been invited. They don't know what the offer is, right? So if we're missing an invite, that's a huge problem. If we attract them and invite them, well, there's no nurture there, which means we're basically making a premature marriage proposal, right? We're like, hey, how are you? You want to work with me today? They have not had the 7 to 11 hours of time that they need to actually have an experience and build no like trust and actually see if they want to work with you. And if we are just nurturing and inviting, but we're not clear on who we are attracting, then that also isn't going to be a good fit client, right? It's going to be the people that are liking and posting, but they're never ready to do anything. They're the freebie seekers. They never really take action, right? So if we are attracting that 30% of the people that are not willing or capable to invest in solving their problem, then that doesn't work either. So I'm going to stop the share here so I can go back into my other workbook, which you guys have access to. And I'm going to go ahead and share that now because I want to take you further into these steps now. Okay. So if this is making sense to you, that this is actually a pathway that your ideal clients go on, I want you to pop in the chat pathway for me. Just pop in the chat pathway because clients do not get created from content alone, right? The post and pray method of building and growing a business is one and done. It might have worked back in 2015 when you just had to create the right content and you had a marketing copywriter doing your work for you, and people would sign up right away. It doesn't happen that way anymore. There is too much lack of trust out in the market. People are not uh, trusting what they even see with their eyes, right? I saw somebody's profile the other day, and I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful banner. Well, it wasn't even her. Like, it wasn't her. And yet she was creating all of these AI generated posts that was not even her. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know if I can trust you because that's not even you, right? So we need to have a pathway. Your clients need to have a pathway, and it needs to be clear and it needs to be repeatable to move somebody who is seeing you to trusting you and feeling safe with you to then deciding that they want to work with you. It is not random. Okay, this is a system that your business runs on. And this is one of the most important pieces after you get your foundations dialed in, after you're clear on your ideal client, after you have your offer suite, after you decide where you want to bring people in and create your hub. This is the pathway that creates your next six figures, your first six figures, your seven figures, your eight figures, your 10 figures. Doesn't matter. This is a system that your business has to run on. So I want to use the analogy of a house. And I call it the house analogy because I want you to think about your offer suite. We talked about your offer suite yesterday, right? We talked about your high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket offer yesterday, and how important it was that we have an ecosystem of offers that we can meet people in the right place. Well, I want you to imagine that you've got a big, beautiful mansion, and there's a front porch on there, and there's a rocking chair or a porch swing. And from that porch, there is a pathway, and along the pathway is these really cute little benches, and that pathway leads to a sidewalk. Your home, I want you to think about, is your offer suite, right? So think about maybe you've got a cooking class in the kitchen, and maybe you've got a group program, with a whole bunch of people hanging out by the pool, or maybe you've got something ultra high end in a formal dining room, okay? So imagine that you've got those different areas in your house, and they represent your high ticket, your mid ticket, your low ticket offer, okay? Your job is not to run out of your house and try to grab somebody off the sidewalk and drag them into the house. But yet, that is what people think when they are posting and expecting people to just work with them just from there. There's no trust. There's no trust. So, our job is actually to help them move through that natural path, to go from the sidewalk, if they're walking along the sidewalk in front of your path, to get their attention so that they can say, oh, wow, that is actually really interesting. I think I might want to learn more about that. I think I want to download that freebie. That sounds like something that could help me. I think I want to go to that workshop. I think I want to join that Facebook group. I think I want to go to that in-person talk. Like, let me check it out and just see what it's like, right? So now they step off of that sidewalk and they turn onto your pathway where the benches are. Now, here's the interesting thing. Some people might have a seat at one bench and then be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. Now I want to have a conversation with you, and I'm going to invite them to come and have a front seat with me up on the porch. And we're going to have a conversation, and we're just going to connect one on one. Everybody else is down in the pathway, flitting from one bench to another. That's great, but we're actually having a conversation, right? There are some people that will move quickly. But there are other people that need to be in your nurture pathway for a longer period of time. And that means that maybe they download your freebie and then they spend some time with you in your Facebook group. And then they go to an event where they meet you. And maybe they go to a workshop or two workshops or three workshops or 10 workshops. It doesn't matter. The key is that we want to have ways, benches, nurture ways in this one-to-many capacity to give people an experience, right? So that they can see you, hear you, and feel safe and trusting with you before, and this is so, so important, before you invite somebody to explore working with you. Okay? Once they've been nurtured in a one-to-many, then our job is still not to drag them into the house, right? We're not dragging them up into the master bedroom. We're basically saying, we're meeting them on the pathway and saying, hi, I'm so glad this was helpful. Are you interested in learning more how I can help you solve your problem? Not, are you interested in joining my program? Are you interested in having support to solve your problem? Are you interested in exploring what that might look for you? And when they say yes, they come up and they have a seat with you on the front porch. And that's where that one-on-one conversation happens. And this is really, really, really important because when they are saying yes to you, that they are interested in exploring having a conversation, what that means is that you don't have to worry about overcoming objections. You don't need to have to convince or persuade somebody that they need you. You don't need to drag them across the finish line. You just get to be in this pure, beautiful, generous, serving energy where you are listening to what it is that they need. They already know that they're having a conversation with you about support. So this isn't a bait and switch. We're just like, hey, let me just give you a free 1 hour coaching session when really you're just trying to sell them into your thing, right? That's a heck no. We don't do that. When people are having a conversation with you about exploring having your support, they're very, very clear that you're going to share ways that they can work with you, which is going to be one of your offers. Okay. Only then can we decide which offer is going to be the best fit for them. Okay. So when we're having a conversation with them, like many of you, I'm having conversations with you now, live conversations. Some of you are going to be a great fit for Activate Abundance. Some of you are not. And I'm going to tell you that. Some of you are like, you know what? I don't even have an offer. I'm like, great. Activate Abundance is not for you then. We want to start you in six-figure foundations. We want to make sure you get those dialed in first, right? Some of you who already have momentum and do have an offer suite, but you still need it refined and you still need to work on your signature system, that's great. I'll absolutely share, Activate Abundance Academy with you. And yet there's some people who are like, I don't actually want a group program, but I do want your support. And so that would be where I would invite somebody to work with me privately. But we want to meet them where they are and support them at the level of support and how quickly they actually want to create the transformation. Okay. So if this is making sense, give me a big yes in the chat for me, please. Let me know that you understand that there is actually a client pathway. And this might actually give you a really good indication about what you are missing. Are you missing the attraction? Are you attracting the wrong people and you're just not in front of the right people? So you're not in front of the right person and we're not actually saying the right thing. We're not actually talking about the problem that they say that they have, right? Are you missing the nurture piece where you're not actually giving them an experience where they get to see you, have an experience of feeling who you are, see your energy, see that you're a real person and build no like trust and give them value first, right? Or are you missing the connection piece where, you're not actually reaching out privately. You're just, maybe you are doing a workshop like this, but you never actually reach out and follow up with people and say, hey, how was that for you? Are you interested in having a conversation? Right? Or maybe you're missing the actual invitation, right? Where you're not actually letting people know how they can work with you and how that they can get support. Okay. So when somebody is on the sidewalk, this is where they're first discovering you. Okay. So they could be scrolling, they could be watching, they could be noticing, they're not ready to buy. And this is why so many people are having a hard time making sales because they're expecting somebody who is just noticing you to become a buyer right away. And that doesn't happen. Remember, it takes 7 to 11 hours of information and 20 to 40 touches with you before they actually feel like, okay, I know what she's about. I get it. I want this. This feels good to me. Or nope, this is not what I want. I was actually looking for something else. Either one is good, right? We actually want people to either feel like they're a yes, this is something that I would like more support with, or a no, this is not something that I want support with. Okay. So attract is how people are finding you. And I want you to think of this as your heart-centered marketing system. And it can include your content, it includes your messaging, your visibility. And so I want you to ask yourself, where are people finding you right now? Where are they finding you? Where can they actually get you showing them something so that you can get their attention? And maybe it's on social media. Maybe it's an email or Substack. Maybe it's through referral partnerships. Maybe it's through something else like in-person events, right? The key is that you have to be consistently visible in front of the right client Because if you're not consistently visible, then what happens is that you might have people in your warm audience that are ready to work with you, but you're not bringing anybody new into your audience and taking them through the pathway. And so you're going to run out of paying clients pretty darn quickly. Okay. So I just want you to notice here again, there's no judgment, there's no blame here. We just want to know, okay, like, am I consistently visible? And am I consistently visible where my ideal client is? And then do people clearly understand what you do? Do they really get what it is that you do? Do they get the problem that you solve for them? Okay. The system becomes weak when you're inconsistent, when you're not showing up regularly, when your message isn't clear, when you're talking broccoli versus chocolate, and when the right people aren't finding you. Okay, so this is what we clear up inside of Activate Abundance Academy is we make sure that we're dialed in on where you're going to show up consistently so that you can be visible, what you're going to do around your messaging so that the right people can find you and you can get their attention. Okay, so step two is the nurture, the one to many. So I already explained the benches, right? Before somebody walks up or gets to the front porch or can even come into your house, they pause, right? They have a seat on the bench, they're listening, they're observing, they're starting to trust. They might be in your Facebook group, they might be reading your emails, but they're already in your ecosystem now, okay? What that means, when I say ecosystem, what I mean is they are either on your email list or they're in what I like to call my hub. My hub is the place where I can bring people who have raised their hand and said they're interested to come into my community that is filled with my ideal client or my cheerleaders or my collaboration partners there so that they can continue to listen, observe, get value, and begin to trust. Okay, so that is our ecosystem. We have to have a hub. If we don't have a hub, then basically what ends up happening is that we're relying on randomness. If they just happen to see a post that we share, maybe they meet us in person, maybe we meet at an event sometime, but there's no place to actually bring them to create an experience with them. Oh, my nose is so itchy today. So step two is the nurture, and that is where we bring them into our ecosystem and we begin to create experiences in one to many. And I shared what that looked like a little bit earlier. Okay. Step three then is we want to connect, right? This is where now they're interested. They've read some of your emails. Maybe they've replied. They're in your Facebook group. Maybe they're commenting, or you are actually reaching out and saying, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Like, is there anything that you need? You are starting to get into what I like to call as a game of catch. You're in conversation now, but you're in conversation one to one. Now they're interested. They're leaning in a little bit more. They're coming to step on the front porch where the conversation is happening. Clarity is created and real connection is being built. Now, in the age of AI, and I'm not against AI at all, but this is going to be critical as we move into the future where more and more bots are taking over things and there's less and less actual human connection. This is what is going to be your differentiator, okay? Especially for holistic practitioners in the wellness area, whether you're a health coach, life coach, intuitive coach, mindset coach, money coach, doesn't matter. If you are in the service-based industry where you are helping somebody with your service, there has to be this connection so that you can build trust, okay? So the nurture and the connect piece that I just mentioned is your relationship and trust building system. And everybody needs to have that. If you do not have a relationship and trust building system, you are basically trying to attract them and sell them, and you're missing the nurture piece. Okay. So this is where your person then begins to move from interested to ready to buy. So I want you to think about your nurture process, and I want you to ask yourself, maybe I'm missing this piece. Do you have a hub where you are sharing your thought leadership, where you can do live trainings, where you can deliver emails, where you can do workshops and events? Maybe it's your Facebook group, maybe it's your Substack. Do you have a hub? If not, we need to do that. We need to get that dialed in. Okay. And we need to be bringing people into our hub so that they can continue to get value for me. Now, notice we have not at all talked about inviting anybody to work with us in Nurture. we're actually not even going to really talk to people about working with us in connection either. In the connection, this is where we start to build relationships, but we're not just reaching out to say, hey, do you want to buy my thing? We're reaching out to say, hey, how are you? Do you need anything? Tell me where you are. You are qualifying them to see where they are in their journey. Are they even looking for support? Are they still working on, financial wellness? I'm seeing JT here. Are they interested? Do they need a solution? Do they want to do an assessment or an audit with you, right? So you can help them give value, right? We're not even asking them to buy yet. Okay. And then we want to make sure that we're building trust here and we're having those real conversations because it's from those one on one conversations that nurture and that connect. And you have a list of these people that you are nurturing and connecting. It's those people that you invite to work with you. It's not the strangers. It's not the people that just downloaded the thing. It is the people that you have already nurtured and connected with. Those are what we call our warm audience, and that is where your buyers live. Your buyers live in your warm audience. They do not live in your cold audience, okay? Your cold audience is our job with a cold audience is to create this nurture and connection so that they can have enough information and feel safe and trusting enough to decide where they want to work with you. So notice where your system is weak. Are you having engagement, but maybe there's no clients? Maybe somebody is commenting, but again, there's nothing happening in the DMs. Conversations are not happening consistently. Okay. And then the final step is actually inviting them into your home, right? Not on a post, not just on a Facebook Live, but actually in a personal, clear, confident invitation. Now, one of the beautiful things about doing a nurture event, which is what you're seeing me model right here, is that our nurture event actually fills in three of these four. It attracts people who are interested in learning what you're teaching in your workshop. So it's attracting the right client by letting them know that you're going to share something and give them value. It nurtures in a one-to-many format, and it lets people know how they could work with you with the invite. What it doesn't do is actually do this in one-to-one, right? And this is why I do 15-minute chats with people, because I want to get in conversation with you. I want to let you see me. I want to see you. I want to hear what's going on, right? And some people are going to just come on a 15-minute chat to have support around something that they're looking for from this workshop. Some people are going to say, and yeah, I would love to know how I can join you and activate, or I'm not sure if that's the right fit for me. Can you tell me more? Can you help me make an empowered decision? That's what happens when we're inviting people. We're not trying to drag them across the finish line, overcome the pricing objection, overcome the time objection, overcome the whatever objection that people are telling that you have to overcome. All of those objections are really false beliefs, and the way that we overcome those false beliefs, for lack of a better word, is through trust, is through nurturing and connecting with people. Okay, so you don't have to try to sell somebody and close the deal, right? This is listening, this is supporting, and this is helping them make what I like to call an empowered decision. An empowered decision is not a yes, I'm ready to go. An empowered decision is helping them be really, really clear about what it is that they want. And if it's a yes, amazing. And if it's a no, and there's nothing that I have to support them, that is also fine too. And we will help them get what it is that they want. So maybe that means we refer them to somebody else, right? Maybe it means that we have a colleague that we can help them with. Maybe it means that we just give them some extra support or an extra resource because they are not ready to commit to themselves or not ready to go all in building their business or getting the result that they want, right? So when we approach sales like that, it becomes so much easier and so much more soulful so that it becomes a soulful exchange instead of just trying to close the deal. So the invite part is your soulful sales system. And this is how someone becomes a client. And it includes how you are presenting your offer. Are you talking about the problem that it solves? Are you guiding somebody to a decision? Are you listening? And are you following up? sometimes people need time to decide, right? They might not be a yes on that call, but they might need time to decide and to sit and say, you know what? I need to make a decision. Am I a yes or am I a no? Great. And this is what I want you guys to get. When somebody's saying yes or no, this is not about yes or no to you. It's about them feeling really, really clear in their yes or their no as to whether they are a heart yes for having the support and for them also doing the work. Okay. That's really where the yes and the no comes in place. Okay. And that's what we want to help them create clarity around. If you are a heart yes for having support and doing the work, then we can talk about which offer might benefit you. Okay. So the way that we also do this is we want to identify, we want to keep track of who are we nurturing, who's showing up, and who's coming into our ecosystem, who's been nurtured and one to many, who have we connected with, and who could be most helped by our offer. Okay. And then we do want to follow up. As a matter of fact, we talk about 80% of sales happening in the follow up. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow when we get to the connect and the invite. Okay. But for now, I just want you to identify, where are you here? What piece of this are you missing? So are you clearly inviting people to work with you every day? Do people know what you offer? Do they know how they can join you on a call or get more information? Do they know what the next step is? Right? And when this doesn't feel stable for you, you end up avoid making offers. You wait for somebody to reach out to you. You feel unsure how to actually guide the conversation to come to a close. And when I say come to a close, I just mean they're making a decision, yes or no. Either one is fine. Okay. This is a full system. This is what we teach inside of Activate Abundance Academy, because this is what creates your clients. It is not just a list of tasks or tactics, right? It is a connected system that your business runs on. Whether you want six figures, whether you want multiple six figures, whether you want seven figures, doesn't matter. We need to have this connected system of your marketing, where you're showing up and being visible, your relationship and your trust system, and your invitations and your social sales systems. Okay. These are the things that we help you with after we help you with your foundations inside of Activate and refine those. Then this is what we want to do. This is what creates a sustainable and a profitable business. These are the actions that create 80% of your income. And when you're focused on these and not all the other distractions, and not the, let me just tweak my website again, or let me redo this freebie, or let me create another offer, or let me redo, everything. When we're focused on these things, this is what is going to give you stable 10K to 40K months. It's going to give you stable and predictable clients, and you know what to do on a daily basis, right? It's actually probably going to start feeling a little bit boring to you. Wouldn't that be great, right? It's like we're not starting over at square one every single month. We actually have a system and a process that we use to take people through. So if you feel that your business is so inconsistent and you really are saying, you know what, I think it's just dumb luck when I get a client, like somebody just happened to refer me and so I got a client this week, it's not because you're not missing effort. And I really want you to hear that. I know that you guys are doing what it is that you feel that you need to do. Absolutely. I know that you're working hard. You wouldn't be here on this live with me if you were not interested in building and growing a real business that serves people and helps people create happier, healthier lives. I also know that you're not into the salesy bro marketing. How do I close the deal? How do I overcome the objection? How do I overpower you? How do I get you to say yes? Because that's not how I have my conversations. It's not how I run my business. And so I know that you are all heart-centered leaders here. But what's missing is not the effort, it's actually the system. It's the posting without the nurturing. It's the nurturing without the connecting. It's the connecting without the inviting, right? And so nothing compounds. And my job as your coach is to help you get this system working so that people find you, so that you build trust with them, and they become clients over and over and over again. Now, the ways that you can do this are multiple, but these are timeless principles. And so what I want you to hear here is that these are not tactics, right? This is not something where I'm like, oh, just go, go on TikTok every day. That's a tactic. That's not a strategy. We are talking about strategy and systems. There are multiple tactics that you can use, and we help you choose the one that feels good for you. So I want you to check your pathway. Where is it breaking down? Where is it breaking down? If you do not have clients in your business right now consistently and repeatedly at the level that you want, your pathway is broken somewhere. It's either broken at the attract, at the benches where you nurture, at the porch where you connect, or inviting people inside. So I just want you to know, like, all right, like, where is this breaking down? Maybe this is the first time that you've heard this, right? It's not your fault. Like, it's totally fine. Like, I literally have 12 certifications. Not one of them taught me this. Okay. But this is part of the Soulful Abundance system that I wrote the book about, and it's what I've been teaching inside Activate Abundance Academy since 2018. So make a check mark on what you feel that you're missing. And then I want you to ask yourself why. Why are you missing it? Is it that you've never knew about it? Okay, great. We can fix that. Is it that you're unsure how to actually go through it or what that could look like? Amazing. We've got you. We're going to help you with all of this. Okay. Is it that it feels uncomfortable? Right? I know many heart-centered coaches and wellness entrepreneurs feel uncomfortable about making those invitations, right? And the reason why they feel uncomfortable is because there's no nurture and connect, right? Once you're nurturing and connecting, it doesn't feel uncomfortable anymore because you are already in a relationship with somebody. Okay. So, my question for you for today is going to be about how could you do one thing to improve your pathway? I gave you lots of different examples today on what goes into attract, what goes into nurture, what goes into connect, what goes into invite. So I want you to just pick one thing that you will improve this week in the pathway. And if you are unsure what to do or how to improve it, make sure you book that call with me. Book that 15-minute call with me. Again, this is not a sales call. The 15-minute call that I am inviting you into is an opportunity for you to actually have support and to create a connection with me. And if you want to have a conversation about working with me, I will absolutely share with you whether or not I feel like one of the offers feels like a good fit. But what I don't do is try to convince you or persuade you or sell you or, overcome all the objections or make you feel bad. Like, I really just want you to walk away with some value. And if you want more support, I'm happy, happy, happy to help you. So just notice that, and where is my links? All of a sudden I lost my notes for our links, and I want to make sure that I grab that 15-minute link for you so that we can actually give this so that you can book it. You don't have to keep checking all your email everywhere, right? Let's see. Tech has been so wonky. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I definitely have got some tech gremlins. Yeah, let's reopen it. My page is actually quit unexpectedly. So let's see if we can pull this back up. We had Facebook not talking to each other. Great. All right, here we go. So let's do this. I'm going to pop this in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for just a minute so I can pop this in the chat for you. And I want to know, oh, thank you, Jen. Yes. Oh my gosh, we can do so much. Like, literally, you can get a client this week on this 15-minute chat. Absolutely, 1000%. And if you want to brainstorm, if you're interested in joining Activate Abundance Academy and you're like, oh my God, this feels like such a heart yes, I want this, and I'm not sure how to pay for it, let's use the 15-minute chat to talk about how we can create that for you. Because the truth is, we often forget that we are powerful creators, right? We often believe that if I don't have everything all dialed in right now, then it's just not possible, right? So before we wrap up today, I really just want to have a conversation with you so that you can make a decision about what we talked about. Because what we talked about was about shifting the way that you might be operating, about understanding where your results are coming from to sign clients, to enroll clients into your offers so that you can actually start making money doing what it is that you love as a coach or a holistic practitioner, right? And know what to do that actually makes that consistent and repeatable. And I know that many of you might actually be showing up, trying to grow your audience, maybe even creating a freebie. But if it's not turning into consistent clients, we got to fix that pathway. And if you're thinking that you just need to figure this out a little bit more, that this was a great workshop and I'm just going to go figure it out myself, or you probably just need to get one new client first, or let me just try this on my own. I want to gently reframe this for you because I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And what I've seen over and over and over and over again is this. The women who say, I'll figure it out first, are the same women who are trying to figure it out 6 months, 12 months, even years later. Let me just go figure it out on my own. And it's not because they don't want this to work. It's because they're missing the structure in the system. They're missing the feedback. They're missing the real-time support. They don't know how to navigate the nuances. Okay. So I want to talk about some real things that come up, and it's totally real. If you're thinking, I can't afford it, I need to get a client first, I need to try this on my own a little bit longer. And I just want to share and speak into this because I had this same thought when I first hired my first business coach and I joined my first business program. It was $10,000. And I really thought, I can't afford it. And yet I knew I was a heart yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really like this coach. I love the way that she's running her business. I want to learn this system, but I literally had $100 in my bank account. That's all I had. And so here's what I had to do. I had to ask myself, Chris, do you trust yourself that you can figure this out? Because it really wasn't about the affordability at that part. It was about, do I believe that I can turn this into a return? Because the women that come and join us inside of Activated Abundance Academy, they don't join because they got extra money sitting around. They join because they're ready to create that money. They're ready to create that business. They're ready to sign clients. They're ready to build consistency. They're ready to actually make it work. Okay. So if you can trust yourself that you actually can make a return on your investment and have the support that you need so that you can create the money and the clients, then you get to be a yes for this. Now, if you're also thinking, I'll join after I get a client or after I make the money, I also know that one too, right? But here's what ends up happening. We create the money and then it goes to something else, right? Something breaks down, the dishwasher breaks, the car, something happens, and all of a sudden we had money and we're ready, and then, right, life happens, right? So I just want you to hear me say that it sounds really logical. Let me get a client first and then I'll have the money and then I can invest. But what I want you to see is that if you already knew how to do that, if you already were consistently getting clients, you wouldn't still be trying to figure it out. You wouldn't be listening to me here. You'd actually be serving your people and doing what it is that you need to do to grow your business. And that's the gap. You don't get the client first and then get support. You actually get support so that you can become the woman who signs clients consistently. And when I said yes to my coach with $100 in my bank account, that actually held a vision and held me accountable to, okay, I'm in it now. I committed. I said, yes, let's go. How am I going to do this? I'm committed and I'm going all in for this. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to hear that part because these are really, really important because I want you to know that I get it and I've been there. And you don't actually have to do this work on your own. So I'm just going to let you guys know again, for those of you that are already in Activate Abundance Academy, like Cynthia, I'm so, so glad you're here. For those of you that want to learn more information about Activate Abundance Academy, I'm going to pop it in the chat here. And that way you can just take a look at the details. You can take a look at what's involved. Again, the program is about helping you create consistent clients long-term, right? We want you to have a profitable and a sustainable business over time. Okay. And if you are just starting, if you just got your certification, if you've been in business for a year or less and you're just starting, then you probably are going to be a better fit for six-figure foundations. And this is where we get you dialed in on your foundations first so that you can get really clear on the foundational pieces that are going to help you build and grow your business. Either one is going to help you get support. You just get to decide where you want to start. If you decide that you want to join me inside of Activate Abundance Academy, you'll get six-figure foundations. We give that to you too. Okay, so you're not missing out. If you're like, oh, but I really want to also get the info on foundations, we got you. We got you. We're going to help you with your signature system. You've got that. Okay, so we have some incredible bonuses going on, and I'm going to share with you. I shared with you guys last night. For those of you that weren't here, I'm going to share it with you today. What's the investment? You can make one payment of 12K, or you can save your spot with a deposit of $997 and make 12 payments of $997. Okay, so that is the investment for Activate Abundance Academy. But the bonus is that for the next four people that say yes, you are going to get 30 days of private coaching with me, unlimited calls. And the way that this works is that we're going to hop on a fast track call. We're going to create a plan. You're going to take the action. Once you take the action, then we'll book your next call. Okay? Because I want you creating traction and creating momentum in your business to actually create income. So for the next four that say yes, that bonus is for you. For everybody else who decides that they want to join, as long as you join by April 30th, you will also get a tech bundle, which means that my team are going to help you create your freebie. And we're going to make sure that we are building out your landing page for you, your email sequence for you. We're going to get all of that uploaded for you so that you've got an asset that you can use to attract people into your ecosystem. Okay, so that's our tech bundle. We also have a presentation kit. And this is, I'm sharing 3 of my talks that I used to build and grow my business. And we're going to give you the emails that go with it. We're going to give you the presentation kit. We're going to give you what it is that you need so that you can do an in-person or an online talk that feels really, really good for you. And then we're also going to give you 100 emails, so email templates. So if you are like, well, I need some promotional emails. I'm not really sure how to promote the event, or I'm not really sure how to promote your workshop. Great. You can go to those templates and you can take a look at them, and you've got highly proven, high converting templates that you can use, and you just need to edit it to meet your own words. Okay. And then finally is our launch kit. Ladies, I spent $25,000 for somebody else to create a launch kit for me. So when I give this to you for free, I'm telling you this is worth the program in and of itself. This is an entire launch kit, which is going to give you the whole 6-week framework that I go through when I am running events, nurture events like this, with emails, promotional emails, sales emails. We're also going to help you create the workbook, like the workbook that I created here for you guys, that value, that is all inside of that as well. And that is going to allow you to do an event every quarter, like I'm doing, that is going to help attract, help you nurture, help you to connect, and invite somebody to take that natural next step to work with you when you're ready. So these are only bonuses available for the April cohort. Okay, they are not available after April 30th. So now is the best time to actually hop in and get the support that you need, have the system, get this pathway dialed in so that you can consistently and predictably not only be an empowered 6-figure coach and service provider that is helping others create amazing lives, happier, healthier lives, but it is also going to give you the pathway and fill in those missing steps for you. Okay, so book a call with me if you need to book a call. I've got the link in there. Take a look at Activate Abundance Academy if you want more information about that. You can also take a look at what's inside 6-Figure Foundations. Again, that is a go at your own pace program. So you're going to be watching some of our modules. You're going to be going through the workbooks in your own time. But we do give you live access to the Success Studio for 6 months. So you still have support to get your questions answered and to learn how to bring new leads into your ecosystem, okay? Oh, you're so welcome, Simona. I cannot wait to chat with you. All right, ladies, that's it for today. We actually did it in under an hour. I'm so excited. Come back tomorrow. We are focusing on connect and invite tomorrow. So this is really, all right, how do I do this thing? What are the beliefs, the belief ladder that our clients are going up before they say yes? Right? And we're going to dial all that in. That's going to be really, really juicy tomorrow. So thank you for being